Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today because June is upon us, and a lot of things are going to happen in June. A bunch of big changes in the economy, and we're going to cover everything. I am going to cover a lot of things in this video, a very fast video, a lot of different locations. But one thing that people were blown away by were those live-work units in Los Angeles. I want to show you here in Orange County where I live how they're adding these things at such a furious pace. I'm going to cover all the national news, a bunch of cool stuff, and we're going to make some predictions for June. Let's get into it. Don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and share this with all your friends and colleagues. Now you've got the stadium on one side of the street, and then you've got these places across from it, which again, they go for blocks. They're very boxy. They look like a dorm. The first stop is in Anaheim, California. This is in the Platinum Triangle. This is Platinum Park. Now, what's interesting about this is if you look down the street right there, you've got Anaheim Stadium right there. I'm in the corner of G. Nautry Way and Union. And this is where they're building a tremendous amount of these live-work units that, guys, I'm sorry, these don't do it for me at all. 1, 2, 3-bedroom units that are incredibly vacant. They built a lot of these as condos initially, and as far as the eye can see, they're building these units. Now, I got a question for you. You have any kids? Look at this, across the street, guys. These condos that they're building them as far as the eye can see. This was the master plan community here in Anaheim, and right next to the stadium. But again, what do you guys do if you have kids, or you know, they want to go out and ride their bikes? They're going to do it on the street. It is crazy. You guys can see all these condos and townhouses and apartments, whatever you want to call them. A lot of these they tried to sell. They can't. They tried creative financing, magic tricks basically to get people into these units for $800,000 for a 1-bedroom place that looks like a dorm, okay? You know, you got HOA fees, you got stuff like that. Yeah, some of them have a tiny pool that's as big as your bathtub. A couple things with the economy. They say that the luckiest worker in the world right now are kids. Kids that are teenagers leaving high school. There's tons of small jobs for hourly wage kids, which leaves no jobs for adults. Can't be a barista and pay your rent. You can't work at the convenience store, the dress shop, things like that for 4 hours, 3 hours, and things like that. But there will be plenty of jobs for teenagers, which leads to another story about Lowe's. Lowe's, the home improvement chain. The cool thing about Lowe's was that, just like Home Depot, they have these professionals that get hired to work in different departments. For example, if you go to the electrical department, you guys, I'm gonna try to sneak through this fence up here. When you go to the electrical department, look at all this building behind me, guys. Who's gonna live here? Who's gonna live here? The crazy thing is you go to the electrical department, you get a retired electrician who can tell you what fitting to buy, and you know, oh, this wire is gonna work better with this. Same thing in the plumbing department. Crazy. Lowe's here in Southern California has got signs, instant interviews. You wanna come work here, you can work here. Guys, see this vacant lot that I'm probably not supposed to be standing in? This, okay, is more condos and townhouses and shenanigans slated for the future. Again, who's gonna live here, guys? The financing is getting totally creative on all this stuff, as it is. And I'm telling you guys, this looks so boxy and so, you know, you guys see all that? This goes on for miles, miles and miles. We're gonna go to a bunch of these locations here in Southern California today. I'm gonna show you how nuts this is. Now, the beauty of this place and these locations is that you're right next to Anaheim Stadium. This was the master planned Platinum Triangle. Originally, they had townhouses and things like that. With the expensive real estate, they said, oh, we built these condos and stuff like that. And, you know, some of them have rooftop pools, but you got HOA fees. And again, I mean, guys, look at this. It's just horrible. It's not a nice place. I don't know where you have kids, where they play, you know, where they play sports, football, soccer, ride their bikes, nuts. These are more of the condos that start at almost 800 grand. And I have to stand corrected already because I found a park already that literally is the size of a ping pong table. So here's your city park, guys, for you guys to play football, baseball, everything at. It's nuts, okay? All these boxy locations. I am now in Orange, California, where they are building these 4-story condos, dorm-style units. Some are for rent, some are for sale. You're seeing condos that are going, starting for 2-bedroom units here for the high 600,000s to 800,000s. And I'll get a better shot of these things, but they're very boxy. And it leads me to a story about inflation. There's over 15 newspapers that talked about inflation today, and you're seeing this worldwide, and you're going to see real problems around the world. You've got it from Brazil, South Africa, Portugal, Germany, Italy, all these other countries, including the United States, have got a huge problem with inflation. CNBC did a story and got 30 different economists together to talk about it, and they all want to, you know, shy it down and, you know, push it down and say it's no big deal, and it's just, you know, it's not that big of a problem. It's a huge problem. And the realistic people are talking about how, look at these places, guys. I mean, who'd want to live here, guys? It's an absolute dorm for 800 grand, okay? So anyways, you're gonna see these places not sell. That's my total prediction. But they're talking about how, you know, meat's going up, fuel's going up, raw goods are going up, and they're trying to blame it on, oh, with the pandemic, you know, the supply chains were broken, and you had a lot of problems with getting goods. Now there's a big demand for goods because of the stimulus checks were spent. It's ridiculous, guys, okay? Jobs are not paying enough. Yes, things are going up, but man, we're seeing a problem with everything. It's not just meat. It's not just poultry, it's not just eggs, it's not just lumber, it's absolutely everything. And you're seeing it on a worldwide basis. And inflation, some of the estimates are as high as 12.6% right now, which I believe that. Again, I paid over $4 a gallon for gas today. You're seeing crazy, crazy things with this, and it's just getting worse. But again, they're building all these condos for blocks and blocks and blocks. Okay, I'm about 2.5 miles from the last location, 3 miles in that range, but they have got 4 blocks that they tore down, 1- and 2-story office buildings, and built these places. And again, who's gonna buy these places? Who's gonna rent these places? They're completely vacant. They're giving the deal of the century to move in here, where they're starting to give free rent and things like that. But you know, share your story. What's inflation like in your areas? Do you believe it's at 3%, which is sky high, by the way? But needless to say, it's incredibly higher. And I'm going to send you guys. So I'll turn the camera around and show you the different direction of what I'm looking at. Every now and then, it's nice to walk through these construction sites and just to see what they're doing. But here, they took an entire city block and built 5 stories of apartments. And as I go back, you guys, I mean, this goes on for absolute blocks and blocks and blocks. And you're gonna see this. Let me pan back. You know, look at these places, guys. See how far back they go? You know, these live-work units are not working. They're not selling. They don't have people that have jobs that can afford these places. And for 800 grand, it's insane. I'm in Santa Ana, California, where they built these live-work units that they wanted to sell as condos. And they're surrounded by homeless people, absolutely destroyed. So, completely crazy. Could you imagine living next to that? They built these apartments that are 5 stories high. Literally right next to the 55 freeway. Got another condo project behind me that's 6 stories. It's a dorm box style. Ray Dalio was talking about how he feels that the Chinese yuan is going to be one of the premier currencies over the next few years, faster than originally expected. Now, when you talk to Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, and if you got a chance to see his interview on Meet Kevin's channel, it was fascinating because Kevin O'Leary explained how he doesn't do anything with the Chinese dollar. Everything is with the American dollar, for the simple fact that any foreign action is done in USD usually because they don't want to deal with the Chinese dollar. They don't want them to change any programs or cut people off or anything. They just don't want the potential headache, which leads to gold and silver pricing. It is anticipated that gold and silver pricing are going to shoot up in June. Now, again, I'm not giving you financial advice. It's just speculation from everything I read today, and the articles are below. But they're talking about how silver could hit easily $30 to $32 an ounce. It's great news. It's about 28 at the making of this video. And they anticipate that gold will go up to about $1,975. It just hit $1,900. And again, that would be a great hedge against inflation. Inflation is around us. It is a huge problem, and everything is going up right now, and you're not seeing it go down. It's something that is absolutely worldwide. Germany, everybody that I talked about originally and earlier in the video, it's a real problem. So share your thoughts. Where do you think this stuff is going to go? It's going to be interesting to see what the price ends up at the end of the month, but I think that people are going to start buying gold and silver as a hedge. I don't see them buying the cryptos. I see them buying cryptos. I don't see them buying cryptos as a hedge against inflation though. Another dorm style unit. Goes on for blocks. Across the street, you've got the massage parlor open, and everything else is closed around it for lease. It's lovely when you want to film someplace and it's completely unsafe. So I went a few miles away to a park. I'm going to finish this video and do the last stories here. Couple things. The rumors of a 4th stimulus check are done. There are no 4th stimulus check. That being said, if you have not gotten 1, 2, or 3 and you really feel that you're eligible for them, then you need to file what is called rebate recovery or recovery rebate at the IRS website. It's very simple. You just fill out a form. They may make you file a 2020 tax return, but you could get stimulus number 1, 2, or 3 if you have not gotten it. So please sign up if you think that you're eligible for that. Just look into it. There's a lot of money. Here's the sick thing. There are 1.6 million stimulus checks that have not been cashed. This is not including the stimulus checks that were returned, dead people, fun stuff like that. These are people that have gotten them, just haven't cashed them, okay? So you may have gotten these cards sent to you and you may not cash it. Next story is the Olympics. The Olympics in Japan are a real mess right now. They just issued a story out of Japan that they don't want anybody from any other countries showing up and cheering. They don't want you to clap. They don't want you to yell or show any enthusiasm in watching any of the sporting events. Now, Why in God's name would anybody go to the Olympics if you can't cheer your team on, cheer your favorite athlete, runner, whatever? As a kid watching the Olympics, those 2 weeks, you know, every 4 years were such a big deal. And now, you know, it's just not going to happen. I mean, Japan needs to accept the fact that this thing is a complete mess. I know that they've spent an absolute boatload of money. I just had the people from Japan MedTech on my event this week, and we talked about this at the event. It's not going to happen, guys. I really think that they're going to cancel it. So it's too bad for all the athletes that have trained a lifetime to get themselves in this great shape so they could prepare and be at a world-class on a world-class stage, but it's not going to happen. So that being said, I want to end it with this one last thing, and that is there are restaurants here in California, and I won't call these out, but they are putting a mask fee. And that is, if you want to walk in your restaurant here in California and not wear a mask, you have to pay a penalty fee of $5. Okay, that's insane, okay? I'm looking forward to June because we're going to travel quite a bit. We're going to Arizona, we're going to Florida, going to some Miami, going to do San Diego, a lot of cool stuff for you guys on the horizon. So as I do that, I'm looking forward to seeing the different climates, the different you know, business locales, a little bit of everything. Seeing what the real estate, the communities are like, everything. So, you know, are you guys paying these fees? Are you seeing it in your city? Share it. I think it's ridiculous. You know, we have a lot of people that are out of the country watching these videos. Please share your thoughts on how preposterous that is, a mask fee. There's a place here called Norms in Southern California that was charging a fee that they didn't have a term for. That was 3.5% per check on just to add it to each check that they got in a little bit of trouble for. So we're gonna see things like this that they're gonna be called out on. Don't forget to like the video. We've got a Patreon channel that you guys can sign up for. Join our email list, share this with all your friends and colleagues, and there will be much more to come. And share your thoughts, guys. Good luck.